What up, Trey? Evan? Peace, Brick. Andres. ¿Qué pasó? Kevin Currents. Alvarez Jr. Salvador. ¿Qué pasó? Bienvenido. The Rob Report. Ain't shit, Trey. What's happening with you, man? Let me tap in with Ty, see where Ty at. Ty Mills, where is ya? Alright. I just sent him a invite. And I was listening to this watching this YouTube conversation interview about the correlation between the medical and political and pharmaceutical industries. If you do not understand the correlation between these three spaces, then you're food. That's it. He said, Robert said, meet me at Odell's or El Dorado's. That's that B-more. That's that B-more, boy. Those are some days, man. El Dorado's, man. Shout out to Bird. Shout out to Kenny Bird, man. Shout out to Kenny Bird. Y'all don't know who Bird is, man. Bird is one of them guys. That's one of them guys. I'm doing Ronnie Bumps. I'm writing Ronnie Bump book right now, right? And Ronnie Bump is the alpha and omega of Queens-based gangsters. So he is what the Furtado brothers and Corley and Preem and Fat Cat and all those guys. He's what they looked up to. Ronnie Bump is he's the mark. He's the bar. And Kenny Bird, first Ronnie used to deal with Kenny Bird Sr., the father, who was also a hustler, get money dude. And then he introduced him to Kenny Bird Jr., who was the one that had El Dorado's. And I'm not sure, but I think Kenny might have got El Dorado's from his pops, from the first Kenny. Miami Life, 9033 was popping, man. Thanks to Krills Etho _Lothianos. Y'all be having some names, man. What up, Krills? Yep, that's right, Bricks. Ronnie Bump is an absolute legend, the real deal. That book is something else. I spend 5-6 hours a day on that book. Thanks, Alvarez. I grew up in the South Bronx, man. Moved to the South Bronx in 1976, man. Was introduced to a beautiful people known as Puerto Ricans. Never had heard of them prior to coming to the Bronx in 76. Never heard of Spanish. I thought everybody was either black or white because that's all I'd ever seen in Harlem. You know what I mean? And only white people I saw in Harlem were the one or two white dudes who were allowed to come through and cop for everybody else, and my teachers in school. The Adventures of Yitz. What's going on, man? How you doing? Thanks for tapping in, Yitz. Alvarez Jr. Salvador asks, how many books do you have out? I have 4 of my own. So I've got Raised by Wolves, then which is my autobiography, Raised by Wolves, Inside the Life and Mind of a Guerrilla Hustler. Then I've got my political fiction piece, which I've only put out part 1 of. It's called Get Smart. It's about a guy named Calvin Smart. He's a black senator who grew up in Little Italy in Chicago. And he's raised by his grandfather, who works for an Italian mob family. And he grows up and becomes a politician. The mob family backs him, and he becomes a powerful senator. and he's Senator, pro tempore, which means he's in line for the presidency. And certain events have to take place before he's able to actually ascend to the presidency. And those things happen one way or the other. And this is real shit. And it's almost happened a couple of times in history, that the president dies and the vice president dies, and then the Speaker of the House, who's next in line after the vice president, if the president dies or is unable for whatever reason to serve, then after the Speaker of the House, if something would happen to that person, the next person would be the Senator pro tempore, whoever that might be. In this instance, it happened to be a black guy who was a senator out of Chicago named Calvin Smart. So the name of the book is called Get Smart. And yeah, it's a political fiction piece. I use real life events that have actually taken place. I just put those events into a more plausible scenario in the weaving of this story. And it turns out that this mob family is part of a bigger thing that is global. And yeah, check it out. And I did that because I wanted people to know I was not a one-trick pony, this guy who was from the streets who could only write about the streets. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy. I'm not an urban lit author. I'm a writer, a real writer, with a command of language and diction and vocabulary and all of that. And yes, I'm a 10th grade dropout, self-educated, straight street nigga, 2-gun carrying motherfucker. But I've never been stupid. And that's one of the things that I'm a great proponent of. This whole idea that in order for you to be respected and respected as a tough guy, respected as a street guy, respected as a real guy, you have to be a dumb guy. I don't know where y'all got that from. I was raised by real, hardcore, cold-blooded, actual, genuine, authentic gangsters. Not near one of them was stupid. Not one of them. They were all very impressively intelligent. So I never got that example. That must have came from rap. Rap must have created that example or something. I don't know where that idea came from. Even you guys that were influenced, what's going on, D2B, Trappy 96, even if you were, brought into the realm of the gangster world or underworld, whatever, by way of Scarface, even Tony Montana, as much of a psychopath and a deviant and an egomaniac and a narcissist as he wasn't stupid, was he? Was he stupid? He wasn't a dumb person. This was a person who learned what was necessary for him to be able to take his business to the next levels. He learned. He didn't say, well, this is as much as I know, so this is where I'm going to stay. I'm going to be this level of individual. So yeah, y'all need to readjust your sails on that shit right there. Gangsters are not stupid, and being tough and being cool and all that ain't being ignorant. This ain't grade school. You're not the person that sits in the classroom in the back throwing spitballs and balled up pieces of paper and disrupting everybody, and being class clown. That's not what you do, as an adult, a young adult, going into the world. That's not what you do. That ain't how you stay cool. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of y'all get stuck at these iterations of yourselves as teenagers or preteens or, post-teen, and you 30 years old, you still thinking and acting like that individual. Emotionally, you're still behaving like that individual. That ain't it. That ain't it. Your life is going to be fucking miserable, I'm telling you. You're as tough as how smart you are. I got that from Guy Fisher, who was my cellmate in Allenwood Penitentiary. That's right. What I say is, it's good to be tough, but it's better to be smart. Shout out to Uncle Guy. That's my cousin Rhonda Fisher's father. And he was also, him and my father were very close. 892024 Batman asks, he says, Cavario, talk a little on New York Freddy. He don't get enough props, fashion, and boss level. Superfly brother. I appreciate y'all having an appreciation for the culture, the subculture, the underworld culture, time and place, that I come from and all of that. And I definitely don't mind bringing y'all up to speed on the realities of those things. But a lot of y'all have these misconceptions, these superfly conceptions about a lot of these guys that I know better than. I don't like to perpetuate fallacies. It doesn't help anybody to perpetuate these false ideas. A lot of what people think about people of that era is hyperbole. It's like, they were here, but y'all got them here. And because y'all are not a part of that life, y'all don't even have the proper measurements by which to determine where that person was in that space, because you don't know enough about the space. You don't have the measurement, right? Now that said, Freddie was a fly motherfucker. Shout out Freddie, Allaby, they would definitely get into it. And Freddie, fashion wise, like, a lot of them were influenced by Pee Wee. Like I told y'all last week, like Pee Wee, he set the standard for a lot of that fly over the top shit, especially when it came to the jewelry. Freddie had, I remember as a kid, Freddie had a pinky ring that was $200,000. Back then, you're talking about like 82, 81. That would be like almost $1 million ring now, right? He had I'm trying to remember them pieces. He had a medallion that was crazy, but a lot of cats did though. A lot of cats did. The money came faster, like as I've explained to y'all before. Heroin money is different. It's different money. It's not cocaine money. It's not comparable. So anybody who got rich selling cocaine in the 90s or the 2000s, their money can't be compared to somebody who got rich selling heroin in the 70s and the 80s. It can't be compared. It's two different type of monies. You know what I'm saying? One is way money. Heroin is way money, meaning you don't count it. You weigh it. You weigh all the hundreds. You weigh all the 50s. You weigh all the 20s. You weigh it because counting it would take forever, even with 100 machines. The profit was exponentially greater, much greater. So when cats spent their money back then on, first of all, the quality of things were better. So when it comes like the fashion, the kinds of things that was worn back then, it was the best of the best silks. You guys can barely find actual silk. You got synthetics and bullshit blends that are being passed off as silk. Same thing to be said for linen. Same thing to be said for cotton, wool, cashmere. I mean, the best of the best, not just the actual material, fabrics themselves, but the craftsmanship. You had the finest of haberdashers, tailors, bespokesmen, people who made tailored clothes for people, and back then it was uncommon. It was not uncommon for a cat that everything they wear, like Freddie, he wore custom clothes. A lot of cats, they wore their clothes like you weren't going to find what they were wearing anywhere because it was made for them, by somebody who had been making clothes for 50 years, 60 years, back then we paid for things based upon Freddie's generation taught my generation, those of us who were privy to be around those guys. It taught us about, buying things based upon the quality of them, paying what we paid based upon the quality of the thing, not the fact of the thing. Oh, this is Versace, or this is Gucci, or this is that, so that's why I paid that for it. It wasn't none of that. It was, this right here is double stitched. This right here has a silk lining, reverse stitching, silk lining, satin lining, this is, this is sable, this is, black llama, this is, seal skin, what I mean? Like things that you guys don't even have in your space. They don't even sell these things to y'all. They don't even offer them because there's not enough of you to support that. There's not enough money moving through your hands to support it. You won't understand why it's priced the way it is because you haven't been exposed to style-wise players like the Pee Wee Kirklands and the New York Freddies and all the different cats that were doing it like a motherfucker back then, my nigga. Like it was. I'm glad. I'm very pleased. I'm honored to have been around for that, to have been able to participate in that and be enveloped in that time and place. It gave me something that if you weren't there, you just can't grasp it, which is, why what I have to offer, in my opinion, is so important and so unique. Because if you were there, then you got access to it. If you were here, then you understood that access. You understand how to convey that access in contemporary terms. It ain't too many of those. Ain't too many me's running around, my guys and gals. For real. So it behooves you to tap in and buy my books, to go to my site and pick up on what it is that I'm offering with the Mind Plug Academy. I talked to several cats today, imparting to them the great fortunes that have been afforded me by way of the exposure to the individuals that I've been exposed to, and like what I have, it died with and is dying with those who are left. And, I'm one of the few who have that information, that insight, and have been able to effectively intersperse it with contemporary understanding and insights. Y'all sleeping. The Mind Plug Academy. I'm telling you and teaching people about personal development, financial literacy, all the things that actually matter, the things that you should be being taught in school so that you can have a life, that you're prepared for life, that you're prepared to be a parent, you're prepared to be a functioning, contributive member of society. The kinds of shit that they're not teaching. That's what the Mind Plug Academy teaches. Pro-social skill sets, interpersonal and intrapersonal skill sets. These are the things that are missing from our developmental experiences and educational exposure. This is what's missing. I know it because I come from it. Teaching in prisons, being inside prisons 12 hours a day, has given me a perspective that few educators will ever have the opportunity to get and be able to assimilate an understanding about what's really fucking going on. Like why the prisons are so fucking full and why there's so many of us in them. When I say us, I mean the melanated people. But yeah, definitely Freddie was a fly one, man. He was a fly dude. Guy was a fly motherfucker too. You know what I mean? But I grew up around a lot of fly motherfuckers. That's right. 892-024 Batman. He said that's the difference between a crash dummy and an actual gangster. That's a fact. Gotta get busy, Black. What's happening? What's going on, Ed? Pop. Is that? They go Ty right there. I'm trying to accept Ty. Why is it not letting me accept you, Ty? Why is it not letting me accept you, my son? I accept you, my son. Do not let them tell you differently. I accept you. That's probably fucking with you. Self-Made 95, what's happening? John Dewey, Third Eye, what's going on? Kwanzaa in the building. Yo, who hasn't gotten a copy of Raised by Wolves, man? Y'all hit me up right now, man. I'll give you free shipping. Free shipping. So the book is $35. Shipping is $5. Hit me up right now. I'll give you free shipping, and I'll sign it for you. You should do some type of project focusing on that. Focusing on what? 892024 Batman. Focusing on what? Hey, Ty, why is this shit not letting me accept you? Like, what'd you do? Get yourself in Instagram restricted land or something again? Life of Mills. I just invited you. Now I'm trying to accept. It's not letting me accept you. It's on some bullshit. It is on some bullshit. I don't know why it's not letting me accept you, Ty. Do that shit again. What is it you saying I should do some type of project on? And for those of y'all that don't know, my site www.themindplugacademy.kizom. Alright. And like, for real, like, what up though? Trial by fire. What's happening? K Wayne's underworld _world. What's going on? The last good king. Thanks for tapping in. Yo, Ty, I'm trying to get you on go live with Life of Mills. There we go. Where you at? Go live with Life of Mills. We are popping, son. And it can't be we are pop. What up, J Wed? Without my son on the style, fashion of players and how they actually looked at things and their approach. My stop kids from buying may stop kids from buying into all this expensive, non-exclusive things. Well, see, the thing is, man, that the way that kids are buying into all this non-exclusive shit is not just some random outcome. It's happening because of cultural, trends, right? So it's about whatever's happening now. So what the thing that's been happening for a while now is being accepted into circles or assimilated into circumstances based upon presentation. So whereas, Johnny Squarepants from Harlem, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, B-more, DC, Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, wherever the fuck he's from. But he's Johnny Squarepants. He just happens to be melanated and comes from a low or no income, environment, whatever. So in those kinds of environments, there's a certain ethos, there's a certain zeitgeist, certain type of mindset, right? And they have their priorities. And in those instances, those kinds of environments, the priority is to do things to get you accepted and exalted, right? So having a pair of Jordans, is like big deal. I don't know why. Hey, Ty, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what you did with them people, with these people, but they are not letting me pull you in. I don't know what the frick it is. So if you in the hood and you Johnny Squarepants and I just invited you again, Ty. And you Johnny Squarepants and you trying to figure out how you going to get accepted into the cool circle. And it's in your mind, it's as simple as getting a certain type of sneakers or a certain designer item, whether it's a pair of, Balenciaga, which is owned by a middle-aged Chinese dude, has nothing to do with Balenciaga himself, who died, I don't know, 60 years ago or some shit like that. The middle-aged Chinese dude owns Balenciaga. It's nothing to do at all with high fashion or high fashion house or high fashion, history, or none of that type of shit. Not that that's the reason that y'all buy it. Y'all buy it because you follow people in the rap industry and they buy it. And they follow who the fuck knows. They have no idea what they're following. They're just doing things for the same reason that I'm talking about right now, that Johnny Squarepants does it, which is to be accepted in the circle of cool. You know, not because there's an appreciation for the quality of the material or the history of the brand or, you know, the craftsmanship that goes into creating it and all that, because it's all made in China. So it's like, yeah, no, they're just doing it to be doing it. So when you talk about creating a platform that addresses this mindset of buying expensive, non-exclusive things, they're not doing it out of just not knowing what to do with their money. They're doing it because they have an overwhelming need to be accepted and included. They have low self-esteem. That's what they're doing it. So before you can address a behavior, you have to identify the catalyst for the behavior. And then you have to attack that catalyst. You have to deconstruct that catalyst. What makes it what it is? What makes it a catalyst? What makes it work? And then, you know, reverse engineer it and create something that is counter to it. And it has to a degree, it has to be able to replace it, because the catalyst is there because it's serving a purpose in people's minds and participants' minds. It's serving a purpose. So if it's making them feel good, then, you know, for you to remove it means you have to replace it with something that's going to make them feel equally well, if not better, right? So you have to create something that takes into consideration what they're dealing with. They're dealing with low self-esteem. They're dealing with a need to be included. They're dealing with a need to be validated. Well, what good thing can you put together that would identify and address those things, and then replace them with something of greater value? The My Plug Academy. I'm not your common, you know, get on the internet and talk to the camera, you know, just to hear myself talk type motherfucker, bro. I don't need it. I don't have a need to be validated or accepted or exalted or talked about. I don't have that. My mother properly esteemed me. She reinforced my value of myself to myself. That's the reason why when I was in the street, heavy in the game, I didn't do things to make other people notice me or see me or talk about me. I didn't do stuff for that reason. If I did, then I would have went to jail performing like every other motherfucker that did that. Every other guy who was in the street, who was trying to be the man, you know, look at me, watch what I'm doing, look at this and look at that I'm doing. Every one of those dudes went to jail. The fortunate ones. The unfortunate ones got their brains blown out. That's right, trial by fire, quiet money. Because the quality of my life was not increased by other people knowing it. The quality of my life was the quality of my life, whether other people knew or not. There you go.
Hey,
You're 30 minutes late to work.
Hey,
You're 30 minutes late to work.
I was here. They was hating on me.
What's up with that, man?
I don't know. I jumped to like 2 different pages, man.
So what are you on now? Time Mills Funny. Time
Yeah,
Mills Funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I be trying not to yell at, argue with people in the comments on this page.
Yeah. Yeah.
They be on my top.
Why?
Cause you can't say no. I got flagged today for just basic conversation, basic dialogue. Like I think the lady I think the lady was like there was that video you sent me. The lady talking about her the dude. She was like, "Man, you dick little, you broke. I just been using you for money and all of that." And I was like, "Yo, you know what's crazy? If this was a man saying that to a woman, this page would have been deleted because they like, yo, this is what she been doing. Like she been working him. He handicapped and she been milking him for money, and now this is her just like treating him before she get away from him." And
Really?
they were like, "Yo, this is what she do all the time." But I was like, yo, she's built her whole platform doing that to that handicapped dude. And I'm like,
Really?
yeah, I'm like, if she was a dude, if it was a dude doing that to a handicapped woman, boy, the police would have found them. He'd have went viral, and they would have told him to shreds. But a woman doing that to a man, nobody cares. It's like
Yo, that's crazy, bro. That's
she's working them too.
crazy. That is really crazy. So this is something that this woman has been doing. That was one of the
Yeah,
like that's a miserable, rotten piece of dog shit right there. That human being right there. I don't know if y'all
yeah.
saw this video, man, but it is something, man. It is something, bro. Like that shit is terrible. There's no justification for anybody treating anybody like that. You know what I mean? And you're right, trial by fire. That flashy shit get you knocked the fuck off. And it don't. You know, we were having this conversation about. Somebody asked me about. They asked me to talk about Freddie Myers, I think it was, New York Freddie, and talk about his level of fly and all that type of shit. And I was like, yeah, definitely, he definitely was a fly one. When they got busted, his wife had like 40 furs. You know what I mean? This is back when furs were not cheap, because they weren't selling chinchilla rabbits that they colored like chinchilla. They weren't selling that other little animal from China that they stamp in customs as mink, but it ain't mink. And people knew the difference. You know what I mean? So she had $40,000 pieces back then. They was definitely fly. They was definitely fly. You know, but I was explaining how that type of thing today is it's all for naught because people don't know what they're doing or why. They just want some attention. So they don't know what they're paying for, why they're paying for it, why they're paying so much for it. They don't know nothing. They don't know shit. They don't know nothing. All they know is they got $2 and they want to spend $3. That's it. And they don't know why. D Nice, aka OG Carlton Banks. What's happening? 809 JR, what's popping, man? And by the way, y'all, if y'all didn't get a copy of Raised by Wolves yet, you want some bullshit. Now, I don't want to hear no shit about, well, when the audio will come out. You motherfuckers need to read. You need to exercise your brain before it turns to complete and total mush. And then you really gonna be fucked up out there. You can be like that guy that dude, that lady was talking to, that bro was talking to, that we were just talking about. Like, for real, for real. Like, y'all need to stop being like fucking lazy and deliberately ignorant. For real, for real. So go to the site, buy the book. And right now, if you hit me up in the DMs, I will give you a free shipping, and I'll autograph it for you.
I'm gonna
You know
handle
what I
it
mean?
for you. I'm gonna handle it. He gonna do all that other stuff.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fondle. I'm gonna fondle his
right.
hand.
Right,
Give him my
man. If I was there, I remember I said, I have you take my books, man. I just have you take my books to the post office and mail them off for
uh
me.
huh.
But on some real shit though, man, like we are in a bad way, man, and I know a lot of y'all know it. I know y'all know it. I know you're in it. You're experiencing it, and I don't see a lot of y'all doing anything about it. Have you seen that thing about the median household income for black families by 2053? What it's going to be?
No. I mean,
How much?
first of all, ain't no black family, so
Right.
it's definitely gonna be a small number.
Oh, how small a number do you think?
Yeah, because there ain't no family. I say like 40, 40,000 or some shit like that.
It ain't that now. It ain't that now. It ain't that much now. by 2053, on the trajectory we're currently on, right?
Yeah.
Y'all know how those charts show arrows doing this type of thing, whatever. That that's trending. That's how something is going, the direction it's heading in, right? So the direction that we're heading in as a collective is that by 2053, the average median household income for black families will be zero. Zero.
That's
Now,
about right.
if that don't make a motherfucker, that means that your youngest son will be 30 years old, right?
Yeah.
He's about 30 years old.
Yeah.
So he'll be 30 years old, and based upon what they're saying, he will have zero income. He will be making no money at all. How is he going to live? Unless you establish a foundation of wealth, right? Unless you acquire some land, establish some investments, some stocks, and whatever, Apple, Amazon, some of these pharmaceutical stocks, like the things that are growing, the stocks that are growing. Unless you establish something for him to be able to stand on, have a foundation of, a life insurance policy, something, he will have nothing. He'll have no income, according to this current trajectory that we as a collective are on. He'll have nothing. You know, that right there, the thought of that is why it's so hard for me to go to sleep at night, and why after just a few hours, my mind wakes me up. You know, um, if we aren't moving urgently away from preoccupations like giving our money to um, Europeans, you know, for their things, and investing our money into our own collectives, like there should be numerous groups of melanated people buying acres by the hundreds. There should be numerous groups doing that, establishing subdivisions, that are specifically established for, you know, our community, our collective. We don't have a common unity. But no, that's not what's happening. What's happening is you got black people spending a couple of $1 billion a year on liquor, a few billion. You got black people spending a few $1 billion on
Hookah.
hair and beauty products.
Hookah too.
Oh, you got black people spending about $1 billion a year on hookah. Um, Continuously making other people other than us wealthy. We're the only ones, the only group that are on the trajectory for being penniless, incomeless in what is that, 26, 29 years.
I mean, when the people at the top
And I wonder why.
when the people at the top leverage their, like the top, blacks, that black we follow and like listen to and love, when they leverage their likeness to these brands, people go support the bullshit. They don't really establish nothing of their own that goes back into our own community. So it's like they following the leader.
Um, Yeah, they aren't leaders. They're following the example.
I mean,
They're following the influence.
yeah, they follow the and the
Now,
shit.
the thing is, like, see, these are the things that are important to identify. Like I was saying earlier, like you can't really help yourself or help other people if you can't identify where the help is necessary. What needs to be helped with? First and foremost, we need to be helped with our identity. Like we do not know who we are,
Yeah,
right? So if you don't know who you are, then you don't know how you're supposed to be based upon who you are. And this constant running towards everything that isn't us, and empowering it, and infusing it with our energy and our imagery and our all of the resources that we can get our hands on. Like all those people who did PPPs and went out and um, put it all in the mall. I seen motherfuckers that were couch surfing prior to the PPP, and then got the PPP, and next thing you know, they standing outside in front of Copper Cove when Little Bro had the original Copper
we
Cove
got
off of Far Road.
now.
I know. Have you been yet?
Nah, I ain't slide.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't been to Atlanta since, so I don't know. But definitely when I do get through there, of course, I'm gonna definitely slide up and go, check them out and all that. But when he had the original one, um,
Niggas is buying bottles.
nah,
Niggas
niggas was
throw,
out
niggas
there
throwing money.
gambling. They be out there gambling. Even nice to be like, yo, stop being out here gambling. He's out there gambling and shit. And a motherfucker I knew was a couch surfing motherfucker. Why did he have on an AP?
Hey man,
Like, what are you doing with an Audemars Piguet on? You were just virtually homeless, and you probably still don't have a place of your own. It's just that now somebody letting you sleep in the bed because you got some bread, and he's sitting there getting his ass busted too. He's shaking them dice, and them shits is shaking him back. And this motherfucker is talking about, that's all right. I got 20 more profiles at the crib.
I'm saying.
But I'm not sure, but he's probably one of the ones that ended up getting locked up.
But the thing is like there's some bitches that's pregnant by him, so he's created people
Oh,
like you know what I mean.
oh
Like
God.
this is what I'm saying. Like
Oh
a
God.
nigga
He's
will
perpetuated his gene on the
yeah, a
planet.
nigga
No.
will get his hands on a couple dollars and the chick will think she found one because they all out here looking for the nigga that's gonna pay for everything and they don't gotta do nothing.
Yeah, right.
And, and you know, it repeats the cycle.
Yeah, that's I mean, bro, I get what's going to happen.
And he fucked a bunch of girls.
Oh yeah, he
Fucking
did. No doubt. No
waitresses,
doubt.
knocking them off.
No doubt.
Strippers,
He
all that.
he definitely was knocking them off. Like, yeah, that's gross. That shit is all that's some nasty shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's some nasty
And what
shit. That's nasty.
qualified him was because he had some money. That's why
Yep.
you be like, you worthless, bitch. You are really worthless. You worthless to the world. If all it took was having some money,
Right.
some fucking worthless paper
Right.
to enter your body,
Chief
bitch, you worthless.
Ave. Yeah, that's that's what it says. That's what it says. That's what it says. You know, if that's all it takes, then yeah, that's what that says. It says you ain't worth shit. But again, that gets back to what I've said so many times: low self-esteem. Low self-esteem is the main motivator behind most of the behavior that we see. It's the main thing that makes cats go out and buy the car, buy the jewelry, buy the clothes, throw the money in the fucking club. Like, it's low self-esteem. It's the thing that makes a nigga that's out in the world doing real dirt. You out in the world selling drugs and you ain't got no legitimate means to justify your expenditures or your lifestyle, but you're doing all you can to draw attention to yourself and your illicit behavior. At the same time, talking about, yo, you got to be careful because niggas be out here snitching. You, nigga. You're the one telling. You. Because you got nothing legitimate going the fuck on, and you doing all this kind of shit that makes people go, well, what the fuck does he do? What does he do? When I first found out,
I'm tired of asking niggas that, and they don't have no answer. I'm like, yo, what's up? What you do, bro? I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, so what do you do, nigga? Like, what do you do? Like, ta-da,
nothing.
Magic, nigga? Like,
Nothing. Sleight of hand, con, bullshit, lie, cheat, steal, fake, front, bullshit, more. That's all. That is why we're on the trajectory to be a zero median household income by 2053 group. And everybody knows that because everybody else outside of us pays attention to those things. So they're making the moves necessary. Then, you know, they're making sure that that group of people who will have no household income by 2053, they're making sure that they are isolated and away so that they can't impact the lifestyle and the quality of their lifestyle. And make sure that you are so sequestered, you are so far away that you can't do anything but harm one another, attack one another, rob and steal and kill one another. You'll be nowhere near those of us who are progressive and well and established. You'll have no access to us whatsoever. None. Zero access. That's what they're making sure. So you'll either be dead or dying, homeless and displaced, or in prison on the plantation, working for free. Morris Tate, welcome. Thomas, what's happening, Thomas?
Niggas get to jail.
Comedian Ballhead.
Niggas get to jail.
You bullshitting, Ballhead. Huh? What'd you say?
Niggas get to jail and get a job. Nigga want to be
right.
house nigga. Nigga
all of a sudden he ain't above it.
Trays.
Right. He ain't above it.
Kitchens.
Weirdest shit ever. Weirdest shit ever.
You could have did that when you was free.
Couldn't. Because somebody might have seen him. Somebody might have seen him. And if somebody see me, they put up to this motherfucking window, and I'm talking about, can I take your order? Oh man, I would be destroyed because another poor, hopeless person saw me working a job and said, oh shit, look at him. He's working a job here at this fast food joint, or here at this Walmart, or here at this bodega, or wherever the fuck it is. Look at him. Like, yo, first of all, don't nobody give a fuck what that person got to say. They don't have shit either. How can you let people you don't even know impact your feelings or your behavior? Like, you got to assess yourself. You're a weak motherfucker, man. If you're allowing that, you're a weak motherfucker. You shouldn't be concerned about what other people think about you. You don't think well of you. That's your fucking problem. You don't think well of your motherfucking self. If you're so concerned about what other people think about you, people you do not know, people that don't care about you, you're so concerned about what they gonna say, bruh, ain't nobody thinking about you. I don't know why people don't get that. Why don't they get that? Like, just ask yourself, how much time do you spend thinking about somebody else's situation? How much time do you really give that in the course of 24 hours? How much time do you really think about, yo, I wonder if so-and-so really doing good. He probably ain't doing good at all, man. That nigga probably not doing good. He probably doing bad. Or, you know, I'm doing better than him. Or, you know, I wonder if he's all right or what, like, nigga ain't doing that. So if you're not doing that, why does your brain tell you that you have to be mindful about what other people think about you to the point where you're not doing any of the things you could or should be doing because you're concerned about what they are going to say? They, the invisible fucking they don't give a fuck about you. Like, what? Y'all need help, man. Y'all need help, man. Let me help you. Let me help you. And no, it's not free. The Mind Plug Academy is not free. Nothing of value is ever free. You're going to pay with time, attention, or the money that you earned from paying time and attention. When you go to a job or you go wherever you go to earn what you earn, whether it's on the block or whatever, in order for you to acquire that monetary instrument, you have to apply and expend your time, your energy, and your attention so that you can garner that monetary instrument. Then you take that monetary instrument that is a representation of your time and your energy and your attention, and you take it and you trade it for something of equal value as far as you're concerned. Now, for too many of y'all, that is some material item that you can't do shit with. It's a pair of sneakers. Niggas is walking around with 5, 6, 7, 800, $1,200 pairs of sneakers, but you don't have that much in the bank or in an investment.
What's crazy is when niggas was getting real cash, like when you got paid real money from a job. Now you just getting direct deposits. All you do is see a number on your phone and you tap your phone at the spot. So there's no real connection with the loss or the effort of what they did.
That's right.
Because it's just a number that gets sent to their phone and they know they went there. So now this number is going to be in their shit. So now they just go and tap. So they have no value for the actual effort it took to make the money. They just simplifying it to the point where you don't even register what you're actually doing and you know how much you've given away in this transaction.
It's a fact, and that's on purpose. That is by design to desensitize you, to lower your awareness, to lessen your cognizance so that you become more like a drone or a robot, you know, and just do as you're directed. That's it. Just do as you're directed, you know, and do as you see everybody around you do. Just follow like a herd mentality, you know, herds like sheep and cattle and any other thing that moves in a herd, you know, where the particular direction is not known by virtually anybody. It's just, this is how everybody's going. Yo, everybody talking about Balenciaga. So let me go buy these big, ugly, clunky ass, cheap pieces of plastic and fucking rubber. Let me go buy this dumb shit that I'm paying all this money for, and in 6 months, I better not wear it. I better not wear that shit in 6 months. Niggas will be looking at me like, yo, you wearing them shits? Them shits ain't even what's in no more. You still got that? Yeah, because it still represents the time, the attention, and the energy that I invested in getting the monetary instrument that I then traded for them. Yes. So yeah, I'm still wearing them. Oh man. Oh man. Like, and this is what motherfuckers is really tripping over, bro. Like, they really tripping over this bullshit. Grown people. I can see children, you know, some 15-year-old, 14-year-old, 16-year-old, you know what I mean, who isn't being especially well fucking guided or whatever. I can see them doing some dumb shit like that or buying into that mindset. But you got grown ass motherfuckers in their 30s and 40s and 50s that are behaving like that. I'm not buying a motherfucking thing that I can't wear in 6 months from now, because that's not what's in. I don't give a fuck. First of all, I'm gonna wear what the fuck I want. I will wear what the fuck I want to wear, when I want to wear, how I want to wear it. Give a fuck what you think. I know you motherfuckers don't think. I don't have the capacity for thought. So why would I concern myself with what you got swirling around in your empty ass motherfucking skull? Are you kidding me? You know what empowers me to be able to say that? Self-esteem, self-value. I don't need anybody to think well of me. I think well of me. And if you don't have that, you ain't got shit. I don't give a fuck how much stuff you own. A low self-esteem motherfucker is going to act like it no matter what they got. And the more they got, the worse they act when they got low self-esteem. That's what makes them undermine other people every chance they get. Try to make other people feel less than because they don't have what they have. Yeah, well, if a motherfucker had bent over as much as you did and kneeled down as much as you did, I guess they would have what you got too, nigga. But you you feel like you better than somebody else because you took one up the ass, fucking punks, and that's what y'all are following.
The crazy thing is the women that's out here selling coochie think they better than the women that's not selling coochie. They're like, you bitches stupid. You might as well. This shit is the craziest thing. To hear women say hoes is winning. I'm like, yo, she fuck random dudes for money. That's not winning. Like she's really losing. And the fact that you think she's winning because she got stuff, like what the fuck? You're supposed to be the good one, and this is what you saying? Like what the
Yep. Yep. Ed Morning 77, Ed said, whenever you obtain some money, the first thing you should do is pay for some form of education to level yourself up. Real talk. Like, that goes without saying. I'm glad you said it, Ed, but that goes without saying. How many of the people who are watching this, how many people that are going to watch this are going to agree with that? They're going to think, nah, the first thing I need to go do is get something fresh and fly so that something that's fresh and fly now, might not be in 6 months, but right now it's fresh and fly. So that somebody could say, oh shit, look, yo, he must be doing all right now. I know last week he didn't look like he was doing too well, but now he got on that new Balenciaga t-shirt. I guess his life is all good now.
the t-shirt
What kind of
gallery.
monkey-minded, mush-mouth, mush-brain shit is that, bro?
It's like being on TV. Everybody on TV rich.
You got if you're more than 9, 10, 11, 12 years old and you're entertaining that, you may be mentally retarded.
Nigga,
Yeah,
everybody
you might
on
be
TV.
mentally retarded if you
It's a
think that.
girl on Instagram. She got over 100,000 followers, and she got her ass out. Her boutique is successful. All that shit is like you playing, man. You hate women. You hate women now.
Mm.
Don't fight. Let me find out.
Oh,
You hate women. You a misogynist, pops.
oh, word.
You misogynist.
Wow, that's crazy. I had no idea that reality, and speaking reality and speaking truth made you a misogynist. I guess that's what they do now. Like, if you speak truth, you're a hater or a misogynist or an anti-Semite, or like this is how uh, fascist mindset works.
Yeah.
You know, you demonize anyone who is speaking a inconvenient truth. You make them a bad guy. You know, out that there was a video that I was watching before I came on the live, and it was a guy who was talking about the politicization of the medical field and the commercialization of the medical field, and how the pharmaceutical corporations have basically bought everyone, right? And he talked about how, you know, the the average person is not being given any type of nutritional type of information as it relates to their condition. It's all about surgeries and prescriptions. That's everything. The doctors don't even take nutritional classes, whatever, this and the other. So when a person when a when a person like him starts to speak to things like Pepsi or Coca-Cola, who he used to work for, pushing for getting or keeping the they get about $10 billion a year from subsidized food programs like SNAP and shit like that, right?
Damn.
And when somebody like him says, soda is one of the number one causes for obesity, and of course, which gives way to heart disease and all this other shit, which is a significant issue in America, period, especially negatively impacting melanated people. When a person like him speaks about stuff like that, what they'll do is they'll turn around and talk about, he is trying to deny people of color access to the things that they like. Thus, he's racist. He's trying to stop corporations from exploiting people who do not know that these things that they have been inundated with and thus have become accustomed to and addicted to are not in their best interests. And that these people who are fighting to make sure that they can use their food stamps to get this crap are not doing it because they give a fuck about them. They're doing it because they, in particular, Coca-Cola in this particular instance, makes like a large part of their profit comes from selling people this shit that's fucking killing them. You get $10 billion, $10 billion of their annual dollars comes from that. So when this person stepped up and says, these people are taking advantage of these people and targeting these people, and that these people should not be encouraged to consume in this way, then the corporation goes to an organization like the NAACP and says, hey, man, this guy is, trying to stop black people from being able to get, their Coca-Cola products, and, use their low income subsidies, which is largely, if we're on a trajectory to be in 33 years to be making no money at all, then obviously there's a great many people who already are not making much money and thus have their income subsidized through these programs. And so they're trying to stop these programs. This guy's trying to stop these programs, these food stamps and all that kind of stuff from being targeted, so that these corporations can make a bunch of money off of them while assisting them in killing themselves. And they turn around and say, he's doing it because he don't want black people to have what they want. He's racist. And we're going to give the NAACP some money to help us to, fight against this guy and his racist campaign to keep black people healthy. He's racist. And once you put those types of tags on somebody, say, oh, he's racist, that person's a misogynist, this person is a homophobe, then that person's a hater, then that is supposed to disempower their perspective, their position, and their argument. And people, because they gloss over everything and they have only a tacit insight into anything, they don't actually dig into the minutia of anything. It's all surface. It's surface exposure, surface understanding. All it takes is for somebody to, brush something with a broad brush, a broad stroke of an idea. Oh, that person's racist, that person's misogynist, that person's anti-Semitic, that person is whatever. And thus, just everything, throw out everything they got to say as invalid because this is who they are. And who says that? Well, the people who are adversely affected by their position. So, yeah, they have an agenda, but we'll ignore that and just, pay attention to the fact that they said that this guy is a racist. Thus, everything he's saying that's actually true is invalidated because, well, he's a racist because he don't want black people to, suck down fucking tons and tons and tons of fucking high fructose corn syrup and sugar with their food stamps. You know what I mean?
Our own worst enemies, man.
Yes. Money bag Quando. What's happening though? Polo Negro Tone. What's going on, man? 504 Boss Mindset. Breezy 100. IMLS. What's happening? So who gonna support what we got going on? Who gonna support what we got going on? But y'all hear what I'm saying. I think that y'all wake up, listen to what's going on, and then you go right back to fucking sleep. Go right back to mindless drone doing what everyone else does. And then here comes Tuesday and Thursday at 7 o'clock. It's like, oh, I'm woke. I'm woke. I know what's going on. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, haha. Emojis. Yeah. And then you go right back to fucking sleep because I don't see no actions. I have a system by way to measure real support, and I don't see it. I don't see it. You know what I mean? Like, y'all full of shit, man. Y'all full of shit. And you know what, though? Sooner or later, you're going to have to contend with the fact of your being full of shit. Sooner or later, you're going to be face to face with your shit. And there'll be nobody to cry to, nobody to sympathize or empathize with your state. You'll be right where the fuck you belong, where you work so hard to get. And you'll deserve it. You'll fucking deserve it. Ain't nobody gonna give a fuck. The Chinese, the Asians, the Caucasians, the Hispanics, ain't nobody gonna give a fuck. Fuck, because they're all watching you not support one another. They're all watching you not follow the examples that they're all setting. They're all supporting within their group, from the top to the bottom. So ain't nobody gonna give a fuck about what you're going through, nigga. Nobody. Even other melanated people who did what they needed to do. They'll be moving with the winners, whatever color, background, nationality, whatever. If they on what we on, we're gonna be with them. Plain and simple. And then niggas will be screaming all of that. Oh, come on, brother, we black. Help us. Come on now, we black. We all black. Fuck you. Tried to tell you. Tried to tell you. But you was too busy giving all your money to people who want to put prisons around the fucking planet so they can lock your dumb ass up and put you on a plantation and be working for free forever. Don't look for no empathy this way. You'll be right where the fuck you belong. You did nothing for no one. No one's going to do anything for you. And that's what most of you are. You don't do anything for anybody. It's all about me, 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 me. You do nothing for no one. You offer no service or value to anyone. And you know that. You know who you are. You know who you are. Those of you who don't do shit for nobody, ever. Offer nobody anything, ever, of any value, ever. You know who you are. We all know who you are. Your day is coming. In fact, it's right here now. You just don't fucking know it. You got your head up your ass too fucking far. You don't realize it. But you will find out. That's for sure. All right, son. We gave him enough. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, for real. I'm getting to a point. I'd like to be able to do this shit on like on some private shit. Like
I was already just thinking that.
like on some
I'm
real
about
shit.
to
Like
figure out a way to make it like some subscribe only and have people like really have to tap in.
like real talk. Real talk.
Because we could really go in when, you know what I mean? When it's like subscribe only. When
I see your messages or questions. I see something here that says tap a question to answer. Everyone watching will see it on the screen. I am LS said, I meant left in the dust, and I'm actually going after this live to get more information so I don't get left in the dust. So what happens when I tap on, he said, tap on the question, I'm tapping on the question. Okay. I don't see how this is supposed to work. I don't know it's not doing shit. I tap on the question. I don't see shit. Oh, okay. Here it is. I'm actually going after this live to get more information so I don't get left. What are you referring to, I.M.LS? What you referring to? What is that referring to? But yeah, son. Yeah, we got Chief Av said Discord or Patreon.
yeah.
Sidebar, when is Mills on the comedy circuit in the Northeast? Ed asked
Um
when he was on the comedy circuit in the Northeast.
I'm thinking about I just got in contact with the Harlem Comedy Club. I'm thinking about doing a show out there and just
Dante.
Putting together my own show up there. But I got a couple venues that I'm looking at in Jersey too that want me to come out there and do something. But yeah, I'm about to come up there. Y'all better come out and buy these damn tickets. I'm gonna let y'all know too, cause I'm gonna put together that Harlem show ASAP.
That's dope. Yeah, you gotta support my son, man. Like y'all don't, boy. Okay, you know, I've been through this on many levels already. You know, I got motherfuckers that are just coming home from prison after doing 28, 29 years. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you was right. I should have listened. You know, I, I got a lot of those, and I say that to say that you might be hearing me now, but you're gonna believe me later on. Some of y'all have decided you're beyond salvation, and you just want to kind of see if you could just float and you know, just maintain some semblance of of appearance until you wake up dead. You know, and I guess you imagine or you would like that it'd be sooner than later, so you don't have to suffer too long or whatever have you. You know, but yeah, you motherfuckers gonna be around a lot longer than you're preparing for, and the disparity between your being around and your not being prepared is going to be hell itself. Some conscious effort to invest in your growth, in your education, then you're already losing. You're already fucking losing. If you're not investing in yourself, you're already done. Those who are going to be well going forward are those who are making investments in themselves, who are not running to the fucking mall, but they are investing in programs that teach them the actual information that they'll need in order to provide for themselves and their family members and their loved ones and their friends or whomever else they want to take care of, look out for and bring along. If you're not making those types of sacrifices and investments in this day and age, you are fucked. You are one of those people that are being projected to have a zero median household income in 2053. Zero. Picture that. Picture that. Picture you live in a city where 100% of the people you know that look like you are not making any money at all. What do you think they're doing?
Boy, they
Y'all might say crime. No, they're not going to be doing crime because there'll be so much artificial intelligence surveillance and policing going on
for real.
that you won't be able to do shit. You won't be able to do shit. You won't be robbing nothing. You won't be sticking nothing up. You won't be doing shit. If you do, you won't be getting away with it. They'll be grabbing your ass. So I guess if you're looking to go get yourself a room in the penitentiary, then yeah, if that's the plan, well, they can oblige you. They can oblige you. They're gonna be more like concentration camps, but yeah, they can oblige you.
Man, it's license plate readers and cameras on every corner.
That's right. That's right. But these things are happening subtly, and um, what's happening? What's happening? Not in service. Um, these things are happening very, very subtly. So cats are not. They're not seeing it. And if you're constantly concerned with, you know, bullshit distractions, this is what it is when you live in the woods. Yeah, that's toads. That's a squirrel. Squirrels make that sound. I found that out last year.
What they sound like when they be fucking.
I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know if that's a fuck call or what. But that shit is crazy, nigga. It sound like some kind of exotic fucking bird, and I thought it was until I looked out my window one day. I got up, looked out the bedroom window. I hear this shit like right outside, and it was a fucking squirrel. I said, yo, all this time I thought that was like Toucan Sam. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Like if you're not in the mindset of and taking your whatever you got now and investing it into making an effort to make sure that you're not one of those people, then you're fucked. And for those of you who think, I saw this young kid about 2 weeks ago. He was a Gen Z or something like that. He was like, he spoke about how all of these things, all these policies that are practiced and implemented in the government and so forth, and how it's robbing from the future, how it's stealing from the future, and how these kids won't have Social Security, and they won't have any type of system or foundation, for their own development. They won't be able to own homes.
Yeah,
They won't be able to own homes. You know what I
that's
mean?
happening right now.
Right. So if they can't own homes, owning a home is like one of the number one ways that wealth is founded. Like the beginning of wealth is generally in land ownership, owning a home. So you have a home, your home is $750,000. You go and you take out $100,000 in equity, and you make an investment in something that, I mean, you need the resources to take advantage of an opportunity. But where are you going to get the resources from? If you can't establish something like a home where you can eventually build up enough equity to be able to pull that equity out and make an investment into something else, maybe build something else that you can then rent out to other people or whatever, however you choose to use it, whether you create a whole life policy and become your own bank type of thing. Like, there's all these different ways. There are many, many different ways, but too many of you, or too few of you, are making an investment in acquiring the information. I just started a new company, and I hadn't told anybody, but I just started a new company. It is called Simply Better Solutions, and it's a component that I've incorporated into the Mind Plug Academy, because it's one thing to tell people, to give people education, information, and so forth about how to comport themselves, how to behave, how to, what to learn, what they need to know in order to be progressive in life, whatever. But if you can't help them solve the ultimate question, which is, how am I going to survive? How am I going to live? Or whatever. Where am I going to get the resources to do the things that I want to do now that I'm educating myself? If you can't give them that end of it, it's kind of difficult to get them to pay attention. It's like, damn, I hear what you're saying, but I'm trying to eat. Okay. So that is now a component of it. So, it's building people's credit, and not building your credit so you can go around and brag about your high credit score, like I hear so many people doing. Got a high credit score, but you can't do shit. You got a high credit score, but you can't go get no money. So Simply Better Solutions helps to build your credit, educates you on credit, educates you on finances, and helps you to get the necessary credit established so that you are able to go and then get the funds, from all of these institutions, these banking institutions, these credit institutions. That's how the world works. But many of y'all don't know that, because nobody in your life and your family and nobody in your circle is moving in those spaces. They're all going to trade their time for money. They're all going to work themselves 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day, 60, 70 hours a week, week after week after week. And they're going to, develop wealth that way. No, they're not. That's not going to happen. That doesn't happen. That's not how it works. But if you've not been exposed to someone who has that understanding and exemplifies that in the way that they live their lives, then You won't know that. You're still following this. Many of y'all are still following the same blueprint from 60 years ago. 60 years ago. It's outdated like nobody's business, and y'all are still following it. You got 25-year-olds who are doing the same shit that 75-year-olds were doing 50 years ago. Like, you don't think the world has changed in 50 years? You don't think that the way that things are done have changed in 50 years, in 5 decades? For real? That's what your brain is telling you? That's crazy. And every group outside of our group knows it's crazy, and they know that's what a lot of y'all believe. I won't say think, because that would imply something that I don't think is going on. You believe, though, you know, like the largely religious indoctrination that many of you have grown up on is made you inclined to be. Y'all about belief. Y'all are not about thinking. It's about believing. So it's either you feel some kind of way, emotion, and then thus develop a connection to an idea and believe it, or you don't. But in terms of you thinking critically about an idea that you've accepted, you're not inclined to that. I'm a melanated male. I know a lot of melanated people. I talk to them. I know what's on their minds. I know it's not on their minds because I'm talking to them and I'm listening to them and I'm watching. I know what y'all got going on in your heads. And a whole lot of you got a whole lot of nothing going on in your fucking heads. And you think it's a secret. You think nobody knows because you try to keep yourself adorned with flashy things or overpriced items. And you think that is it's hiding you. It ain't hiding you. Only person that don't know what the fuck you doing is you. Everybody else is very, very well aware of what's going on with black people. Everybody. Everybody. Very, very well. So, I don't know how many of y'all are hearing what I'm saying coming from any other place than me in your lives, but keep in mind what I'm saying because uh, at some point, a light bulb is going to go off. Holla. Remember to think critically so you can live wonderfully. Peace. Love you,
Out of
son.
here. Love you.
All right.